Hello my friends, today we are going to organic farms in the United States to see how the production of organic agricultural products happens. According to USDA statistics, by the end of 2022, in the United States, there are 17,445 operating organic farms with an area of 5.8 million acres. The majority of organic farms are concentrated in states such as California, Wisconsin, New York, or Pennsylvania. Due to rapid increase in human demand for organic food, the number of organic farms in the United States has always increased by 3 to 5% each year. However, the percentage of organic farms in the country has never exceeded 1%. According to statistics, in 2022, sales from certified organic farms in the United States amount to $9.93 billion, of which the organic products that bring the highest revenue are lettuce, milk, eggs, apples, and cattle. We are currently at an organic lettuce farm in Monterey County, south of San Francisco, California. September through November is usually the busiest time for lettuce growing in California's fields, and this 47-acre farm is no exception. Every time the lettuce growing process takes place, this farm will have about 170 migrant workers come to work, and most of them are illegal immigrants from Mexico. To receive USDA organic certification, this lettuce farm must meet strict product standards that include soil health requirements, natural pest control methods, and absolutely zero use of pesticides. After about 125 days, millions of organic lettuce plants on this farm are ready to be harvested. This is also when about 270 migrant workers from Mexico come here to work. According to USDA statistics in 2022, California lettuce production is 4.4 billion pounds, and about 9.7% of that is organic lettuce. Each year, the lettuce industry in the United States creates approximately 87,300 full and part-time jobs. In addition, lettuce production generates about $2.7 billion in value, of which organic lettuce farms across the country bring in a value of about $830 million. Goodbye lettuce farms, we're going to organic goat farms in Edwards County, Southwest Texas, to see how dozens of boer goats are raised. In order to be recognized as an organic farm by the USDA, dozens of goats on this farm have been fed organic food for their entire lives. In the production of goat foods such as alfalfa or cereals, farmers are not allowed to use pesticides and chemical fertilizers. In addition, the living conditions of goats on an organic farm should also be ensured by factors such as sanitation of the barn, humane treatment during rearing, and plenty of time outdoors. With outstanding features such as muscular muscles and a stocky appearance, Boer goats or South African goats are often raised on goat farms for meat. In addition, the average weight of an adult Boer goat is also 25 to 40% larger than other common goat breeds. According to a USDA report from June 2021, there are 14,130 active goat farms in Texas. Of these, there are about 173 certified organic goat farms, and the number of organic goats in the state is about 13,700. Here's what's going on at an incubator in Alabama. One day after hatching, hundreds of geese here will be moved to organic goose farms in Coleman County, located in the north central part of Alabama. These geese will live in the barn for 2 weeks before they are released outside to roam freely on the lawns. According to statistics from the beginning of 2023, in Alabama, there are 73 active goose farms, and most of these are small-scale farms. In order to receive certification as organic from the United States Department of Agriculture, it is similar to organic goat farms. Goose farms also need to meet stringent requirements regarding the use of goose feed, humane treatment practices, and flocks of geese having plenty of outdoor access time. At this goose farm, wheat is the main feed used. In addition, geese are birds that love to eat greens and grass, so releasing them on lawns is a must for organic goose farms. According to USDA statistics, in 2021, in the United States, there are about 1,320 geese farms for the purpose of eggs and meat. In addition, across the country, there are also many farms raising geese in small numbers as part of a diversified livestock operation. According to reports from the goose meat processing facilities, approximately 7,600 geese are slaughtered in the United States each year. 23% of those are geese raised on organic farms. The amount of goose meat consumed each year in the United States is only about 3% of total poultry production. These are chicks at an incubator in Wisconsin, and they're about to be shipped to organic chicken farms in Madison City, south central Wisconsin. Currently, there are 354 chicken farms in Wisconsin that are USDA certified organic. This ranks 5th in the list of states with the most organic chicken farms. Leading on this list is California with 702 farms. All chicken feed on an organic chicken farm must be certified organic and non-GMO. Farm owners are not allowed to use synthetic substances, growth hormones, and antibiotics in the process of raising chickens. In addition, the chickens at this farm must also have access to clean water at all times. Currently, many people have confusion about the difference between chickens raised on free-range farms and organic farms. The difference between these two types of farms is in the chicken feed. Although free-range farms also release chickens into the pasture, the supplements for chickens here are often made from genetically modified ingredients. According to statistics in 2021, in the United States, there are 5,102 certified organic chicken farms, and the number of chickens on these farms is 19.4 million. This is a very small percentage of the total of 9.1 billion chickens raised in the country. Each year, about 7.1 million organic chickens are slaughtered in the United States. In addition, the number of organic chicken eggs collected across the country is about 747 million, accounting for less than 1% of the country's chicken egg production. In 2021, sales of organic chickens nationwide reached $1.1 billion, and sales of organic chicken eggs reached $849 million. Hello my friends, today we are going to a state that is said to be the poorest in the United States to see how farming and livestock work here. In recent years, agriculture has been the #1 industry in Mississippi with a value of about $9.7 billion each year. The value of the state's agricultural sector is 3 times lower than that of Texas and 6 times lower than that of California. According to USDA statistics, in 2022, there are 34,000 active farms in Mississippi, and the state's farmland's total land area is 10.4 million acres, accounting for 35% of the state's land area. Currently, most of Mississippi's agricultural area is concentrated in the Mississippi River Delta region. The river is considered the most important river for US agriculture because up to 92% of the country's agricultural exports are transported through this river. Currently, the most popular agricultural products in Mississippi are cotton, peanuts, eggs, catfish, and corn. In addition, in Mississippi, 19.2 million acres of land are used for forestry and generate $1.3 billion in annual value. We are currently on a 314-acre catfish farm east of Mississippi. In the past 40 years, Mississippi has always been the state with the largest catfish production in the United States. This is also a commodity that contributes greatly to the agricultural value of the state. At around 7 a.m. each day, thousands of pounds of pellet feed are pumped into the pond to feed the millions of catfish. The main ingredient in the feed used for catfish is small fish meat mixed with soybean flour. According to USDA statistics, in 2022, there are 205 active catfish farms in Mississippi, with a total land area of 34,000 acres. On top of that, up to 85% of catfish farms are located in the plains, and the remaining 15% are located in the central east region of the state. Currently, most varieties of catfish farmed in Mississippi require at least 18 months to be ready for harvest, when the weight of each catfish is about 1.3 to 1.8 pounds. When the catfish harvest takes place, these workers will use nets to catch the fish. Then millions of fish will be loaded onto trucks and transported to the factory for processing. According to the USDA report, by 2022, in Mississippi, 78.1 million catfish were harvested, with a total weight of around 388 million pounds, accounting for 67% of the catfish production in the United States. Not only are catfish raised on farms, Mississippi farmers also catch hundreds of thousands of catfish each year in the Mississippi River. An estimated 770,000 catfish living in the Mississippi River are caught each year. This is what goes on inside a catfish processing plant. The catfish industry in Mississippi creates about 17,000 regular jobs, and the value of catfish farms is around $221 million. This is a bison farm in the city of Tupelo, northeastern Mississippi, home to nearly 90 purebred bison. Bison is said to have appeared in Mississippi land in the 17th century. Till now, the number of bison in this state has decreased by about 87% from that time. Unlike other herds of cattle, the bison here only grazed on the pasture right next to the farm and have a protective fence instead of being taken to pastures a few miles away from the farm. In a US Department of Agriculture investigation in 2021, there are 37 active bison farms in Mississippi with a total population of 4,300, of which the largest bison farm has about 175 individuals and is located in the eastern part of the state. Each year, between 350 and 400 bison are born on farms in Mississippi, and about 3% of them usually die shortly after birth. Newborn bison calves weigh about 55 pounds, about 30% more than bison caught in the wild. Young bison will need to live in a barn for about 3 days before they are strong enough to follow their mother into the pasture, and they will be weaned after about 6 to 7 months. Currently, most bison farms in Mississippi operate for the purpose of harvesting meat. Despite being a state with a relatively limited number of bison, the quality of bison meat in Mississippi is always appreciated. Of course, it's not appreciated as much as bison meat raised in Montana. As an adult, a female bison usually weighs on average around 970 pounds, while the bull bison often weigh up to 1,800 pounds, and each day they need an amount of food equivalent to 5% of their body weight. Basically, raising bison doesn't take as much care as cattle or sheep. Instead, farmers just need to provide enough nutrition for them and vaccinate them annually. About 870 bison are slaughtered each year in Mississippi. Meanwhile, the number of bison slaughtered each year across the country is about 19,000. The Mississippi bison industry provides approximately 3,700 jobs and generates around $137 million in revenue each year. Meanwhile, the cattle industry in the state brings in about $318 million in annual revenue. According to USDA statistics in 2020, the states with the largest number of bison raised in the United States are South Dakota with 86,000 head, followed by Nebraska with 23,000, and Mississippi ranks 16th on this list. Goodbye bison farms. We're going to Mississippi egg farms to see how farmers here harvest 1.4 billion eggs a year. During the past 6 years, Mississippi has always ranked 10th in the list of states with the most broilers, and ranks 13th out of the states that produce the most eggs. Currently, there are 1,237 broiler farms and 115 egg-laying farms in operation in Mississippi. The chicken industry in the state brings in about $3.8 billion in revenue each year. It is also the largest revenue generating industry in Mississippi's agricultural sector. In Mississippi, most eggs are collected from free-range chicken farms. Therefore, although egg production in this state is much less than in other states, the quality of eggs here is always appreciated, and the prices are about 25% better than factory farms. When it comes to Mississippi's agriculture, we cannot ignore wild boars. According to estimates by the Mississippi State of Agriculture and Commerce, there are about 515,000 wild boars living in the state. Every year, hundreds of thousands of wild boars in Mississippi cause agricultural losses of about $7.3 million. And there are always big problems that any farmer has to worry about when they intend to cultivate crops. In 2018, about 25,000 wild boars were hunted in Mississippi, until 2019, when it was learned that hunting wild boar in the state was quite easy. The number of hunters flocked here more in that year, and 308,000 wild boars were exterminated. However, with its extremely fast reproduction and good adaptability, the wild boar population in Mississippi has always remained high, and they always have been a big problem for the state's crops.